Yo, what is good, guys? Back here, another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my honest thoughts and opinions on someone or something going on in this wacky weird world of pro wrestling. As you can tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my thoughts and opinions on the American Wolf, Davey Richards. And before I share my thoughts and opinions on him, would love to know what yours are down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification, all of that fun stuff, because I would love to know what your thoughts are on Davey Richards down in the comments below, because this one probably going to say some negative stuff in regards to the pro wrestler of Davey Richards. I don't know him, the human, kind of deal, the person away from wrestling. Never met him, never had any social media interactions with him. But whenever it comes to Davey Richards, how do I put this in a PG way? I have seen him wrestle once in person, and that was a Ring of Honor event back at my very first one back in the day, kind of deal. And even whether it was a part of that show or started watching ROH back in like the summer of 2011, summer fall time, and whatnot, I just never was a fan or supporter or a mark, whatever terminology you would want to use, towards Davey Richards. I was not that towards him. I, back then or recently, don't find him entertaining in the ring or on the mic. Is he technically good bell to bell? Yeah, but there's a lot of people who are good wrestlers technically, kind of deal, technical wrestling kind of deal. Doesn't mean you're entertaining. For myself personally, I don't find him entertaining. He seems like a how do I put this nicely? Not necessarily the nicest wrestlers you've ever met kind of deal. Like, he just doesn't come across from not necessarily my experience, because again, never met him before and whatnot, just based off of how he carries himself kind of deal and whatnot, just based off other people's interactions, meeting him, not necessarily the nicest. Eddie Edwards, his former tag partner, seems like a chill person to meet. Davey Richards, the wrestler, not so much kind of deal. And then whenever I think about Davey Richards, I don't think about any certain matches, certain promos, certain feuds to a certain extent. When it comes to that, I remember Kevin Steen beating him in Toronto for the world title, for the ROH world title, that is. Kind of deal. Outside of that, don't remember any matches, promos, or feuds, but I do remember him being booked for an Alpha One show, which was a Hamilton-based independent wrestling company in Ontario, Canada, one of the top 3 in the 2010s, in my opinion, kind of deal and whatnot. I remember him being booked for that and then backed out, or maybe not backed out, that's not necessarily the right words. He admitted on the Kevin Steen show back in like 2013 that he just decided not to go kind of deal and whatnot. Ethan Page, who ran Alpha One, talked about it. He pretty much booked Davey Richards for a final act, which was their biggest show of the year, equivalent to a final battle in Ring of Honor, equivalent to a WrestleMania for WWE kind of deal. Ethan Page booked him, got the flight, got the hotel, I think definitely a flight, $500 on all of that stuff. And guess who decided not to go to the airport and get on that plane? Yeah, Davey Richards, and he admitted to it. He just didn't feel like it. With no heads up, admitted to it on the Kevin Steen show, got booked again for Alpha One in, I think it was either late 2018, early 2019 when Davey Richards came back. Similar enough deal, where Ethan Page would cover gas and hotel kind of deal. If Davey Richards drove up from, I think, St. Louis, Missouri to Hamilton, he could get a car full of his students and they would be booked on the show, kind of deal and whatnot. And Davey Richards agreed to that, agreed to wrestle for free if Ethan Page covered, again, hotel and gas, kind of deal. Who let him know, granted, 2 months out, that he wouldn't go. And I don't want to say having an excuse would be better, but if it's like, hey, I broke my foot and I can't wrestle for however long, I can understand that, or like any form of injury. First one back in 2011, I could understand in a way if he gave the heads up to Ethan Page, like, hey, I can't come because I'm hurt. Airplanes kept on getting delayed or postponed or canceled, kind of deal, something like that. Understandable, but backing out 2 different times, damn near a decade later, or decade in between, 8-9 years, kind of deal. One of them, granted, 2 months out, but still, kind of deal. That's with no excuse. Like, I can, again, understand if, hey, I can't wrestle for X amount of time and whatnot, I won't be able to make the show, kind of deal. Like, heads up, that's fine, that's great, kind of deal. But no explanation second time around and just not feeling like it. That's what I would remember personally Davey Richards for. He could be the most entertaining wrestler in the ring or on the mic that was never signed to WWE or whatnot, and that's what I would probably remember him for, kind of deal, because the same people you meet on the way up are going to be the same people you meet on the way down, kind of deal, and whatnot. Again, I don't know him personally. I don't wish any ill will towards the guy. I care enough to make a video. I don't care enough to wish ill will on somebody, kind of deal and whatnot. But either way, those are kind of my thoughts and opinions. If you met Davey Richards or had an experience meeting him, would love to know what yours are down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly, hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically.
The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. Do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's